Welcome back to the Coast of Distinct podcast. It's your boy DJ KO. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. And look, today is a special show. Today is a special day. Today, I'm glad you guys tuned in. Before we get started, I want you guys to tell a friend to subscribe to the channel. You know, we try to bring some good, enlightening content to the culture, but you know, for these last couple of shows, we've been having some I ain't gonna say ratchetness, but we've been having some dating problems amongst men and women. So we're gonna stop that narrative, and we're gonna be positive for 2022. Shout out to everybody that's still being positive, even though the year is we still in the first quarter, but we're gonna be positive. Anyway, in saying that, I got two special guests today. We're going to talk about some big things that we're doing in the community. We're going to talk about some enlightenment. We're going to talk about some education that we got going on in the community. I have these two sisters here, two powerful sisters. I invited them both to the show because I felt that they had something that was good for us to know, not just for us to know, but I think it's going to build our culture for the long run. You know what I'm saying? When we get into this NFT world and we get into this digital currency world, you know what I'm saying? These two individuals, I think they have a great insight on some things. So my first guest to my left, we got my girl Andy Thibeu. Hey.
Hey, y'all.
How you doing, Andy? You all right?
I'm good.
You good? Good to see you, baby. And to my far left, I got my girl Elle Oliver. Hey.
I'm in the building again.
How you doing? How y'all guys doing? Y'all all right?
We good.
Y'all good? So look, before we get started, I want to ask you guys, because I know everybody know that I'm not from here, right? I'm not from Houston, so that's why I want people to know, because they're gonna see y'all in the street. They gonna Andy's like, all right, because they're gonna see y'all and they're gonna ask. You know what I'm saying? So okay. I want you guys to tell the people first where you guys are from and what you guys do.
All right, so I'll start it off. So, guys, I am Andy. You guys know me as just as Andy. I'm from Houston, Texas. Actually, I'm a business analyst, so if you're trying to get your business documentation together, whether you're trying to start from scratch or you're trying to expand your portfolio, then I am your girl.
There it is. Shout out to Andy. She used these big words already. Expand your portfolio. I'm like, okay, I see how you doing it. Elle, what you got, Elle?
Hey, y'all, this is Elle. If y'all been watching the show, I've been on here how many times now?
A couple times.
Today, I'm going to talk about business. I do business consulting. I do business and personal credit. I boost credit.
Boost credit. There you go. Hey. Shout out to Elle. Hey. If y'all didn't know, you got a big crowd in the back over there. We're clapping for y'all. So y'all got some fans over there. So look, before y'all get started, so when we talk about business, all right, so we know that in our community, not especially now, everybody's talking about doing business.
Yes.
When it comes to real estate or when it comes to cryptocurrency, NFTs, what is the first thing that comes to your mind, you guys' mind, anybody can answer this question, when somebody used the term business?
You are a business in itself.
Okay.
Everyone should have a business. Everyone should have an LLC, I think. Even if you don't know exactly what you want to do professionally, you should brand yourself like you are a business. So whatever you make up your mind to do, the longer you have your LLC established, the faster you can grow your business credit or whatever.
Okay.
But you are a business. It starts with you.
Okay. Andy?
All right, so for me, when I hear the word business, it goes into the aspect of which part are you trying to persuade.
Okay.
So I look at business far as even when a baby is first born at the age of 0 at a timestamp, or if your child is getting ready to turn the age of 7, 13, 18, 21, or all the way up to now they're 30. Who's running the family business? Who's going to do the trust? Who's going to be the holding company? Like, you have to give me more details when you say business. Business can be just because you sold one product or you sold one service. Yeah, you are not in business because that's a hobby, but once you legalize it, then it becomes a business.
Right.
I'm one of those technical people. Like,
right.
Give me more details.
I see. You're a stickler when it comes to that. Yeah. But when I say business, you know what I'm saying? Like, say we at the barbecue, you know what I'm saying? And somebody's like, oh, yeah, you know, we had a good week with our business. So when I say business, I mean transaction. Okay. Right? You have consumer and you have the consumer and you have the owner. Okay. The transaction between the two, and it's monetary.
Okay.
A lot of people are in business before they even realize they're in business.
Facts. You have to say
Okay.
this.
Like, we've been doing hair, we've been cooking, we've been doing
Right.
styling, all kind of stuff, you know. And they've been getting paid on the side, cash money under the table, whatever.
Right.
Just not, like she said, legalizing
Legally.
it.
But in saying so, because that most of that stuff right there wasn't taught. I think nowadays what's being taught is the legal way of doing it to, I guess, to benefit benefit tax wise off of it, especially if you make a lot of money.
Okay, so this gonna be fun. I can see right now. Actually, we was taught about business in grade school. We
Okay.
was taught about business with our ancestors.
What
Did we
school?
pay attention?
What
I
school
got
you
you.
went to?
I got you. Let me tell you. So I have this big thing with everybody because as soon as I say, oh yeah, you know, when you was actually in 5th grade when you had to learn the 5th Amendment, do you remember that? Man, I don't even
Bill of Rights, ain't? Is that the Bill of Rights or something like that?
So-
yeah.
So
I don't know, man.
we skip over the part when you had to learn 1 + 1 is 2. No matter how you change them digits around, 1 + 1 = 2.
Okay.
The only thing is when a formula changes, when you take the number with that it's equal to and now make it plus or minus, that's when it changed.
All right.
We learned that in 2nd and 3rd grade when we was doing B's and putting the little Legos and stuff together. We didn't pay attention, but that was the first part of business because
Okay.
you had to get the Lego from somebody to equal up what you're doing.
So you said the principle of it.
Yeah,
we
it's
learned the
principle.
principles. Okay.
But just to take it back, take it a little bit further, when you went to 5th grade, 6th grade, going into middle school, it came down to history. So when you look at your ancestors, when they went to go pick cotton, they had to pick a certain part of cotton so they can get food,
Yep.
they can get water.
They call it sharecropping.
Right.
Yeah.
So when they had to share, if I don't have it, we're a family and you don't have it, I got it, we got to do it together.
Right.
Right. But let's say you are a slave owner and we got to get it from you or borrow the money from you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we had to borrow the money from you, we had to see what we have equally to make it either rash out or come to you and put it on what's called the books.
Right.
Right.
Well, within the books, we had to realize how much time we have to work before we can come back and pay the books.
We still going by principle, though. We were never taught the business aspect of it.
Well,
like we were forced to do that. That wasn't by choice. We were forced to do that. So it's not like we were paying attention and like, oh, we're learning business, because we just didn't know.
But that's the point. Your key word was, your key words was pay attention. That's what the problem is with a lot of business owners. They want to skip the process and not look at hey, what you're doing is already business. You're just not doing it the correct way.
Correct.
Right?
Okay.
So I take it back to our ancestors when they had to go get some bread on consignment. That's credit. That's all it is you swiping a credit card. You got to pay it back at a certain time.
They call it a tab.
The books.
Yeah.
The books, right?
So when they got paid, they paid credit card.
So
basically.
usually when I tell individuals, like we learned that in school, in our history books, we had to learn what our ancestors was doing.
Right.
Now, do we understand that? No, because the instructor had us confused and we just wanted a grade.
Right.
But if we really just sat back and said, you know what? Okay, this is credit. This is business credit. Because when they built the car and put the first wheels on it, they had to get business credit for wood, for lumber, and everything else. They didn't have that money up front. So they had to go get that for the business to build that car, and now look at the car industry right now. So that's my philosophy on it. If we just sometimes just take 2 steps back and just realize what was already happening, because Wells Fargo, the wagon does mean something when it comes to business. They had to borrow their name before they can formate their name.
Right.
Once they formatted their name, that's the legal part that came in.
So you getting heavy into it. Okay, you getting heavy.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
All right, like you say, you technical. So I never really thought about that as far as when it comes to business, like the back end of it. Now I knew about the sharecropping system. I knew about the bartering system, because that's still actually in the tabs. Well, you call it the
history books.
when the people go to the
books.
store
The
the books.
Yeah.
Right.
So I knew about that.
The bookie. That's what they was called, the bookie.
Yeah. But that's more of a system to where people was uneducated, formal uneducation. So that's how they normalize their life.
Right. That's what they're doing right now.
Look, I have friends right now in 2022 that do not know they don't know the first thing about starting a business.
Okay.
Like, at all.
Right.
In 2022, you would just assume that everyone knows the basics.
Correct.
You know? and people are doing, like, I have a friend, he does camera systems, right?
Okay.
He set up cameras in people's houses and stuff like that.
And I'm pretty sure he's good at it, right?
Good, and do not have a LLC. He's not set up properly. And you would assume that he runs a business every day,
Right.
that he has his stuff legalized, but it's not.
Well, but that goes back to Andy. See, even though Andy is a business analyst, and that's your job, but a lot of people, we was never either not just taught, but we didn't need to do that because we had a community and a village to say, okay, well, I know old boy.
Okay,
Call
so
him over there.
this whole business thing, I think it got heavy with us with these PPP loans.
Okay.
Like, when everybody was trying to get over
Right.
on the government and
Right.
or whatever, now they realizing, oh, I've been had a business, I've been running a business, and all of that. Like that's literally where it came from. Because before that, nobody was properly worrying about setting up a business.
But that was a blessing and a curse, though.
Right, it was. But a lot of people missed out on it because they wasn't properly set up.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that because look, you know what? It just sparked something in my brain. That really was a blessing. All right, the curse was people was utilizing it and abusing it. But for people that never had an actual legal business, they actually set their stuff up right to
because
get
now
money.
everybody it brought awareness to business.
So COVID really helped us out.
Right, it really. Well, I had my business before COVID,
Yeah.
but yeah, it really did. You know, a lot of us.
Shout out to everybody got them PPP loans. Hey, I wonder if they still got that money though.
Yeah, don't call me. Don't call Andy.
Do
Well,
not.
it's tax time. It's tax time now, so
they
you
finna
know.
run it up again.
Everybody, so yeah. So let's let's jump into this word that you guys use because it's another word that's been thrown around a lot, and we can talk about it from the personal side and we can talk about it from the business side. We're talking about the word credit, right? Right. So when we talk about credit, the first thing I think about is when my freshman year in college, and I had no money, right? And they had these credit. Discover was one of them. Had one of these Discover card companies. They said, if you want a free T-shirt, sign up for this credit card.
You went to TSU too?
No, I went to HBCU.
See what I'm saying?
You know what I'm
It's
saying? Shout out to
crazy.
HBCUs though. You know what I'm saying?
They was everywhere.
Yeah, right. They said, sign up for this T-shirt.
That was the gimmick.
And I'm gonna give you this card. So we got a card. We had $300 limit on it.
Yep.
Right, $300 limit.
Yeah.
And being a careless college student, 18 years old, you thinking,
They know
okay,
you gonna spend it.
I'm spending it the
done.
first week.
What?
They know that
That refund check ain't came.
because you wasn't taught credit.
Right. So that's the first thing I think about. So now
It was a trap. It was a setup.
When 4 years pass, 4 or 5 years pass, and you graduate, you be like, you get that invoice and saying, well, you've been owing this money back on your credit for X, Y, and Z, and now your credit score, we used to didn't know what a credit score was. Well, I did,
Exactly.
and your credit score is like 400 or some shit. So I was like, what is this? Then you throw the paper away, and now when you try to buy a car or a house in your mid 20s, it's like your credit is horrible.
Score,
and that's
we're
when
like,
it
where
clicked.
did this come from?
So that's the
Or
first.
you need a co-signer and all of this.
Correct. So that's my first time ever experiencing credit, but being aware of it, I was in my mid 20s. So let's talk about how important is credit in our community. Like I'm talking about from both sides. We talk about business and personal. How important is it?
Credit is king. Like, credit is more important than cash.
You think so?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Why? How's that?
It's so many doors will be open to you with credit than cash. Like, you could have so much money and still can't do certain things without credit, without a credit score, without business credit. Like, you need credit. You need it. Like, now I tell people, do not use your debit card for anything. Like, your debit card,
Why?
it doesn't give you any points. It don't give you
Why?
nothing.
Oh, well, that's I get it from the point.
Yeah,
Okay.
your debit card gives you nothing. You're just using your money. You use a credit card, you pay that off. You're already spending the money that you were
All right,
spending.
Hold up, L. So you going
Okay,
fast? You
I'ma
going
slow
fast?
down.
Because I disagree with that.
Okay, go ahead.
I disagree with. Can I?
Go ahead, let's do it. You always got to play the
I
villain.
just
Let's
want to
do
be.
it.
Can I disagree?
Go ahead.
So I think that some things you should pay cash for.
Like what?
Like like some simple stuff. Like you go to the store get some grocery.
Why
No.
should you?
Because you're not getting credit for that.
You
You're not
get
getting bonus
double
points for
points.
that.
You get double bonus points for shopping for grocery shopping.
So let's slow down.
Okay.
Let's slow down. So the other part that she's saying without saying. I'm one of those technical people, right?
All
so
right,
I'm the
about
one.
it.
She gonna tell you. I'm gonna break it down just a little bit more, right? So depending on what type of credit cards you have your rewards card, you have your travel card, you
Right.
got your hotel stay card, you have your business cards, you have your points, where you just get nothing but points, and you can use them in diverse places, right?
Okay.
So in this case, when she say no, don't use your cash when you go to the grocery store, and you can get more bonus points on different things. Well, you got some clients who really don't have the cash to pay for that credit card. But let's say you go to the grocery store 2 times out of a month.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in Houston, you do. If you have kids, 200-300
Yeah, easy.
every 2 weeks. Well, let's say you did 600.
Every
Let's say
week.
you did 600 for that month. Well, I know for a fact on that American Express Blue, you get point for point, dollar for dollar.
Okay.
If you do Navy Federal, you get 100 points for each dollar, depending on which Navy Federal you have.
Okay.
So in what she's explaining, it's really good to use that card unless you're not disciplined enough to go back and pay that money.
Right.
If you don't have it in your bank account, don't be crazy. But those points, you can take those points exactly with Capital One as well. The Walmart Capital One card, you can take that money, put it towards that balance, and you're going to pay at least the minimum balance, right?
Right.
But if you have that money in the account,
Just pay it all.
pay it off. But
Right,
you're going to get
because you were
points for
already
it, too.
going to spend the money. You were already going to
got
spend the
you.
money. So don't go over what you were going to spend.
I got
but
you.
Spend what you were going to spend and hurry up and take that money and pay the card off.
Right.
But you getting extra points, rewards.
So that makes sense. So okay, so now I get it. So you're saying the money is going to be spent. Just don't use your money because you're not utilizing the bonus
Discipline.
points
Be
for
disciplined.
the card. Because most people, they spend that money on that
It's
credit
a wrap.
card. It's like, man, hell with it. I get that bill at the end of the month.
Here's the part they're scared of, too, though. First is discipline. Second, nobody want to auto draft nothing.
Okay.
You get
No, I don't want to do that
ready
either.
to- Don't be scared.
Auto draft?
you
Auto
get
draft
more
the minimum.
points. You get more points for auto.
Really?
Yes.
Auto draft the minimum, but you know that money is coming out their account. And if you smart, if you have a family of 5, you can have 25 cards. So if you do it the correct way, just imagine how many points you can get from that.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it get deep.
So look, I didn't. So
Credit is a game.
So
it's
now-
a game. You
It
just
is.
use
I love
credit to
it.
get into certain doors. It's a game. You got to learn how to play the game.
so
Thanks.
now we talking. Are we talking personal? Or we talking business?
Right now we're talking on the
Personal.
business. I'm sorry, personal. You're right.
So that's personal. Okay, so let's go back. Rewind. Personal. Go to Kroger or wherever, Walmart, whatever. Pay for your grocery with the credit card, right?
It would be great for you to do it. Yeah,
With the credit, let's say you get points for that with the credit card,
gas points too.
or if you have a fuel card or whatever. I'm saying you get the points.
Yeah.
Make sure you wait like another week or two. Pay that full balance off on that credit card
Right.
with the cash, with your cash.
Never pay the minimum balance, people. Never.
Right, you pay over, right?
Yes.
Pay over like
And don't wait till the due date either. Okay, but go ahead.
right.
My rule of
right.
thumb when it comes to my credit clients, I used to tell them 10 days before the account. Because here's the deal.
What you mean? Oh, because of the billing cycle.
Right. So
Okay.
you got a billing cycle, and then you got the post cycle as well as the due date, right? So you got to be careful. You don't want to charge something and then pay it off and it look like it's never on your account, right? It's almost like, let me borrow $20 on Monday. I pay you back on Tuesday. You like, you ain't need $20, right? But if I borrow money on Monday and I pay you back on Thursday, you like, yeah, you need it, but you pay me back on time because Friday was my due date.
Right. And now I don't have to pay any interest too. So that's the game. You got to beat the interest. You don't want to pay the interest. So they have cards. People don't pay attention to that interest rate. When your interest rates are 22%,
Right,
18%, and
yeah.
all of that, you don't want to pay that.
Right.
So you need to pay it before the cycle starts over. So you don't.
okay.
So you avoid the interest.
So we teaching up here. I see y'all. Okay, we give.
I mean, you know, we
got
good at what we
$1,000,000.
do.
Yeah, I see what y'all doing. But that's good though, because now a lot of people just think credit cards are a way of just means of travel or means of living a lifestyle and say I can
Elle
afford
said
it.
it earlier. They not educated. They listen to the gurus on social media and get this today because we're gonna give you 100,000.
Right.
Come on, man, stop playing with yourself like that.
Right.
Like you shouldn't do that.
So now that's the personal. Now let's talk about business. Now, how is the business credit utilized? Like, if you have a business, a sufficient business, and it's a LLC, and it's what is it? Not organized, but I forget what it's called by the state. got the
You're
seal,
right, seal.
organized by the state. You good to go. Now you start doing business, and you apply for credit cards. How can you utilize that business credit to help your business out?
Okay, business. I love business credit.
It's
Okay?
like, which one you want to go?
That's my thing. So when you get business, when you establish a business, you don't have to do anything with that business. They call shelf businesses. People create shell and shelf businesses just to age them, right?
Okay.
So if you have a business and it's been LLC'd or C Corp or S Corp for 2 years, you could ask for anything. Like
so now, what is C Corp and what is S Corp?
So that's different stages of business.
It's tax exemptions.
It's
Okay.
tax for tax purposes.
So now, correct me if I'm wrong. S Corp is more of a shell where you have a company, and you basically pay yourself.
Hold on. Don't confuse someone that may hear this podcast later.
I'm sorry.
So when and I only say that, no offense to you or anyone else that may be listening to this, but first of all, we're not your financial advisors. This
Or
is not legal.
attorneys.
Listen,
Right.
whatever
Disclaimer.
you hear
Right.
today is just information that you should research on your own for your own business, whichever time it started. Talk to your CPA, your bookkeeper, whoever
Right.
you need to. But no, you can book a consultation. We can look at your stuff directly and tell you what's going on. Do not be like, Elle and Andy said, you're a lie, I'm going to sue you. But no. When it comes to the S Corp and the C Corp, you got to understand when to properly add that to your business, right?
Okay.
So in my case, I don't know if you want to finish it or you good?
I just would keep
go
it
ahead.
simple for right now. Like, just LLC yourself, and then you could change over, like, when because it depends on the type of money you're making, the type of transactions that you're doing. You could change over at any time.
Yeah.
Like, just to keep it simple, I'm going to just stick to LLC for this part.
Okay.
Okay, so with the LLC, when you start doing S Corp and C Corps, it really come down to what you want to do for as how many employees that you have within your business.
Okay.
After you go up past 5 actual employees of the
On
business
payroll.
that's actually on payroll,
Not
tax
contractors.
deductible, no contractors, exactly. You start looking at the insurance part of it,
Okay.
right?
Workers'
That's when you
comp,
start. Yeah.
Sick leave and all of that stuff like that.
Yeah, and then you got some workers that might say something wrong, so you need to
They
make sure
gotta
you
have
have
claims
that.
and
Right.
so it's insurance purposes. So that's why I'm saying it gets deep. It gets deep with the S Corp and the C Corps. That's why right now for the sake of the
podcast.
Yes.
I'm saying,
Just
all right.
relative.
So I'm saying, all right. So, and I know, of course, we got to get a disclaimer, but when I say somebody that's been in business for a long period of time and they have this stuff established and they're making money, right? But they want to utilize that business. They want to leverage that business.
Well, again, I'm the technical person. It really come down to what you're doing in business, right? So you have business consultants, business managers that really don't need S Corps and C Corps.
Okay.
But it depends if they're actually going to branch out, franchise out, or something in that nature.
Okay.
I think we need to take a step back of understanding what business structure is before we start going to scenarios of
Right.
if I'm in business, how do I leverage it? Because business structure starts off if you're a sole proprietorship when you're doing a Schedule C and now filing it on your taxes. But then you go past the Schedule C because now you want to separate personal from business,
Right.
and now you want to be a full-time LLC owner. Then it goes up to you can be an INC, PLLC. You got it's 5 different ones, I want to say, to be exact, but it really depends on what type of business that you want to run. Now, if you're going to do a trust or a holding company, that's totally different than just having a LLC by itself.
Okay.
If I'm doing a joint venture with someone that's limited, then I go a LLC, but we'll be doing a business as a joint venture with another LLC that says their information when it comes to business contracts.
So now you talk
Yeah,
about the
I'm-
structure. I know you going. I know you
She
going from the
deep
beginning.
into it.
We
She
can
going
tell you
deep
teach
into it.
this. We can tell you
Yeah.
teach this because you're
Yeah,
going from
I
the
do.
beginning
I
to
do.
the end. But we're just talking about on the vanilla
As
side
far as like
because
leveraging, like I
Right.
started fixing and flipping houses, right?
Okay.
So I used my profits from fix and flip in real estate to start my Airbnb business, right?
Okay.
And so I didn't want to use any of my own money. So I established my business and then I used that business to get funding
Okay.
Right. So I go to the banks. I'm like, I have this business. It's been established. And they ask you, what do you need funding for? Working capital. I want, marketing, a marketing budget or whatever.
Right.
So now
Tools,
they
equipment, stuff like that.
they trust me because I've been in business. So they're prone to give me these funds.
Right.
Right. So the Navy Federals and the Chase and Capital One and stuff like that. So they give you a lot of business credit. You get higher limits in credit with business than you do with personal.
Okay.
So they give me this credit, and then I go and I fund my Airbnb. So I buy all the furniture and get the business up and running, and then the Airbnbs pay back the credit, right?
Right.
Pay back the
They
loan.
pay you pay back the money.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Well, they pay back the business, not her in particular.
The
Right.
business,
Because
correct.
it's different.
I got you.
So when it comes to this credit game, we have to be particular because someone is like, well, my company going to pay me directly.
Right.
No, we'll cut a check to you personally and
Correct.
cut a check to the company.
Correct.
But a little bit into that, I think we need to go back again to talk about what's personal credit and business credit. And the reason why I keep saying go back because it's going to be that one person that call you and say what they said, right?
Well, there's always going to be somebody.
So the difference between personal credit, business credit, with personal credit, you have a 3-digit number that goes off of sometime a FICO score or a Vantage score, right? Which you have your general.
Talking about your FICO score.
Yeah.
Yeah, FICO score. Yeah.
So with those scores, you have your TransUnion, your Equifax, and your Experian.
Yeah.
But with business credit, it's a little bit different, right? I'm sorry, let me go back. Personal credit, they look at your payment history. If you're 31 days late, that ding is on there for, basically forever. It doesn't matter after 2 years. But because of COVID-19, the regulation changed. Now when you go get a home, when they look at your FICO Vantage score, they're now saying, well, we looking back 4 years instead of the 2 years.
Okay.
Because now you got some people that go file disputes that basically said they had identity theft to wipe their stuff clean,
Right.
and then want a house, right?
Right.
But when it comes to your business score, it's a little bit more lenient. It go by a letter grade, just like grade school. Again, take it back history.
A, B, C, or D.
Right.
Or
Right.
F, right?
Right.
Your score goes from 1 to 100, whereas your personal credit go from 300 to 850.
Right.
Correct.
Right. So once you understand how it basically works, this is why Elle was saying earlier, credit is king, because once you learn the game, it becomes an unlimited.
It's a game.
Yeah,
it's a game. You
unlimited
gotta play it.
opportunity. So when it comes to also funding, you got to know what type of funding do you want. People make it so difficult when it's really not the difficult. And I mean, I don't want to end the interview quick, but
Right. Now I understand what you're saying. So the reason why I ask these questions is because, one, people are really understand YouTube is a big teacher, but
Yes,
YouTube, you really have to apply that information that they give you on YouTube, because the thing is, it's easier said than done. And then at the same time, it's difficult to build your credit. You could be paying your bills on time for years. Everything I'm talking about, everything be perfect, and your credit score just don't jump because nobody.
Because you're not playing the game.
Right.
You have to be strategic when
So,
you're playing the game.
I'm talking. I'm talking about the people that's doing the right thing. I'm not talking about the ones that's trying to get over on the
it's
system
still
or
gonna
whatever.
change. She's saying the right thing. It's all about, do you know the game?
Right.
It's nothing
Because listen, I can have a bunch of credit cards, right? And I could be paying all my credit cards on time.
Right.
But guess what? That's only one part of your credit. You have to be a well-rounded credit person.
Right.
You have to have mortgages. You have to have revolving loans. You have to have it's just different sectors of your credit. Right.
So you gotta have, because what is it? It's five segments, right? It's
five.
utilization. It's credit
Debt to
age,
income.
right? You got debt to income. You have what's the other two?
So you have utilization, which is basically, most people tell you be under 30%. But if you know the game, the closest to 10% you can get is where you really maximizing your credit.
So when you say that, what is that? That 10%?
Credit usage. So let's say you have a $300 credit limit, then it go down to 30, right? Right. That's 10. That means that's 10% of that $300 is on you're only using $30 of it.
Okay.
Now I know some of y'all like, what? Yeah, that's how it works.
And and then there's a game inside of a game too with that, because a lot of people tell you don't go over 30%, right? But I play the game. I ask for credit limit increases, right? So if they're only seeing that you're using 10%, they're not going to increase your credit.
Facts. They actually drop it.
Right. You have to use a certain amount where they see, oh, you need this car. Oh,
because you're going over, but you're paying it off.
And I'm paying it off. Correct.
I got what you're saying.
And so now they'll increase your limits. And so the more credit that people are willing to loan to you, the more stuff you can get, the more other people are willing to loan to you.
Yeah,
so,
the best time to ask for the increase is at least on the 15th or the 21st of each month. I'm sorry, 25th of each month. But it depends on the algorithm of what you actually been doing with your credit.
Right. I got you. Okay. So that's the game of it. Because you're paying it back, but you're going over that utilization.
But I'm paying it off.
But you're paying it off. So now it said utilization. What's the other four?
So you have the utilization. You have real estate itself. Like a lot of people don't understand just having a home. Like most people say, oh, I want to pay my home off early. That's not what you should do. You also got to look at auto.
Yeah,
auto
Texas,
is a big
you should
thing.
have Texas.
But I think it's auto with like the student loans, right?
Okay.
Hold on, I messed up. So you got the credit utilization. You have the inquiries. You have the new credit. You have the debt to income ratio, and I'm missing one.
I could Google it.
I could too. Oh, I'm not ashamed. Listen, I do this for a living.
Because people see that circle on their credit, be like, okay, 10%, 30%, 10%,
You have
10%, 10%.
history is what you're missing.
Credit history.
Yeah,
Okay.
history.
It's payment history. Yeah. Payment history. Not
Gotcha.
credit history, payment history.
Right.
Right. So,
And if you want to, you can go to Google and put in 5 factors of credit and then go to the image and it'll break down everything.
It's a graph. It's a
Because
pie graph.
the longer that you have these cards or these trade lines or whatever open, they see that you have
What is the trade line?
You have
Credit
history.
worthiness.
So what is the trade? Because so y'all throwing terms out there. Because
I'm sorry.
A lot of people.
we talking the same language.
Y'all know what y'all was talking about. But a lot of people that's going to be looking at this, they're honestly they're going to be reaching out to you guys and say, okay, well, can you guys help me out with X, Y, and Z? Yeah. You using terms. I know these terms, but a lot of people don't know these terms. So use a trade line. Nobody knows the trade line. What is a trade line?
So trade lines are just your credit lines, really.
Okay.
So whatever credit that you open, that's another trade line on your credit report.
Your credit card,
that's
your
reported.
car loan, your home loan, personal loans, student loans.
And so there's primary trade lines and there's secondary trade lines. So the primaries are worth more. When people, like I'm adding authorized users and all of that, they're secondary. They're not primary. So
what is an authorized user?
So they call it back in the day, they used to call it piggybacking, right?
Right.
So the
It's pretty layman's terms.
It like that.
It's
the
like layman's
older
terms.
generation know piggybacking.
You're going to piggyback off me.
Right.
Right.
But authorized user is just basically saying that I'm authorizing you to use the credit card that I actually have. And most people don't want to do it because they like, I don't want you to do this. But
So it's like this.
I want to say, I was going to tell y'all another. It was going to go this way, and I can hear somebody
Just
like, yo, let me get that.
Don't do it deep. Don't go deep.
So it's like this. It's like this. Let's put it in layman's terms. So remember we talked about the older person who had the tab at the grocery store?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what the older person did, it said, okay, well, I have my grandson, my granddaughter that's going to come and pick up something for me, but I want to add them on my account.
Right. Yeah. Because I have the history, and so now I'm gonna allow them
to come in to utilize that. They don't, but the thing is about an authorized user, do they have ability to change anything in your credit?
You can give them different privileges.
Okay.
When I do authorized users, I don't give them any privileges.
It's just on your account.
Right.
I got you. Because
I'm strictly helping you. I'm strictly just helping you.
Okay.
So I'm not giving it to you for you to use, because a lot of people that need trade lines, they already messed their credit up. I'm not going to allow you to mess my credit up.
Got you.
So I'm just helping you.
So I want the people to know exactly what you guys do, because I know you guys. Because the thing is, we're having a great conversation. By the way, you know what I'm saying, awesome conversation. Is very knowledgeable, and it's very educational. The thing is, what do you guys do? Because the average person don't know this.
Well, here's the deal. I want Elle go first because this part. No. Because this part that we're talking about, that's what she does in general. I don't do personal credit anymore unless you're my business client.
Right.
So I'd rather you go to Elle, somebody that's basically talking the same language as me. And if you want to transition over and start building your business portfolio, then come to
No,
me.
we coming back. We coming to the business portfolio. So, Elle,
So
what is it that you do?
Okay, so I mainly boost credit. I help people boost their credit. It's like the fastest way you could get your credit score up. So if you're going to buy a house or car or get credit cards or whatever, you can come to me, and I have trade lines, my personal trade lines that I offer people to boost their credit. I've seen it go from 20 points to 100 points. Like, you just never know. It depends on your personal profile, but I boost credit quick, okay? I'm good at what I do.
Okay.
And also, I help people start their businesses.
Okay.
So from the ground up, we're gonna file it with the state, and we're gonna start your business credit. So that's what I help them from the beginning to get it started. Their business.
So you boost credit, so they can reach out to you.
Yeah.
And of course, is this service free? Or
Of course, nothing is free. See, that's the problem.
so I'm just
That's
asking
the
because
problem.
somebody gonna call you and be like, okay, can you help me out?
Time for me to go.
Yeah, that's the problem. You ain't got to worry about me. You ain't got to worry about me.
Hello.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Shout out to everybody that wanted for free. You know what I'm saying? We doing it. We paying for things in 2022.
Hello.
But no, it's a fee to do this, right?
Yes, it's very expensive because, like I said, I'm helping you, right? Without me, you can't just walk into somewhere and get an extra 80 points or 20 points
Absolutely
or whatever.
not. Right.
And I can make that happen for you in a week.
Okay.
I can make that happen for you in a day. In some cases, you know. So yeah, it's a fee for that.
I got you. So how can they reach out to you?
My Instagram is w.lo.
LELO, right?
Yeah.
ELL.
w.elleo.
Got you. Y'all make sure y'all reach out to Elle for that. She's gonna help y'all out. So moving over here to Andy, we're gonna talk about this business portfolio over here. You know what I'm saying? So what is it that you do, Miss Andy?
So what I do exactly is I'm a business analyst, and most people are like, oh, you just do business consulting, business management. No, I do a little bit more than that because I'm looking at. I understand that you want to start off building a business. We have to do an assessment on your business. We have to do an audit on your business. What your business plan actually looks like. What do you want in the next year to 3 years to 6 years? So within my company is actually called Creative Resource Management.
Okay.
Where we actually help you from the scratch of, hey, I'm thinking about getting a business. I don't know what business budget. I don't know how much it costs. I don't even know where to start. We help you at that part to, hey, I have kids. I'm jacked up, but I need to get in place so my kids can get something from me. So we help them also with life insurance. We push fast with that. Now I have connections with that. Okay, so we outsource everything, by the way. But from there,
with the life insurance,
I mean, you know, if you need it, come.
I might come over there, girl.
But past that, the most important part, my favorite part in particular, is making sure the business owner is able to maximize their business, right?
Okay.
And maximize their business is understanding if you've been driving your car every single day for your business, let's go ahead and turn it into fleet credit. If you have a truck, if you're in logistics and you gas too high, I don't know what to do. Let's look at the fleet gas cars. Which one actually goes along for you? How can you now become an advocate, or if you want to be an affiliate of this gas company, so that you now can get points and you now can advertise them and they can pay you for swiping your card as well.
Right.
And other people that sign up, they can pay you for that. But additional to that part is when it comes to logistics, we also look for people that actually does financing. So we help you. When I say we help you from understanding what you're going in business, structuring the business, leveraging opportunities, equity opportunities, the finance company. We just did the Focus Business Conference. So that's my
Shout out to the business. Shout out to
Focus Business Conference.
Hey,
We just had
y'all.
that Saturday, but we actually had the VP of Regis Bank that actually came in with his processor and underwriter at that location. So
Okay.
that part of the finances is taken care of. If you're looking for, when it comes down to, let's say you want to get into mobile homes and you want to get multiple mobile homes instead of just getting one, we actually teach you how to actually leverage your business, add your kids to it, and then also put everything under your kids' name. But then they hire you as the employee and you run the business. So
Gotcha.
again, structure, understanding what you want to do for business opportunity, equity,
That's dope.
and then grow the business
That's
portfolio.
dope. That's dope. How can they find you?
They can find me. Listen, You
Listen,
can find me.
listen.
No, so all over social media, I am just as _ Andy. You also will see me under my actual name, which is Andy Thibeu, Thib as in boy O, on all social media platforms.
Okay. So look, that's great information. Look, but I want to ask you guys this one more question before we get out of here, because I know you guys have a slew of information, slew of knowledge, and we can't get it all in this hour time. But they're gonna reach out to you guys and make sure they're gonna be all right. Y'all gonna take care of them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just use the code culturally distinct. They're gonna give y'all.
Oh Lord.
Nah,
You are not affiliated, okay?
Right.
Please and thank you.
Every referral that they get, they're gonna send me a percentage.
need
So
to know.
anyway, so let me ask you guys this, because I know that Elle, you talked about business credit, you talked about your business portfolio. Now, have you guys ever thought about getting government contracting in doing sort of thing?
I'm sorry.
Like a training?
I've never thought about this.
So actually, I do government contracting. Listen,
Okay.
you went fast through the interview. I'm sorry.
Well, hey,
I'm sorry.
look.
So our company actually does government contracting as well. I have
Okay.
over 13 certifications myself with the Port of Houston, with the City of Houston, High Houston First. I can run the portfolio if you want to.
Okay.
You can go to my personal page, which is andythibeu.com, and see those certifications at the bottom of my page.
I want to ask you a quick
But,
question.
yeah. Go
I'm going
ahead.
to pick your brain right quick.
Go ahead.
So,
Wait, whoa, that's gonna cost
That's
you. Let me
gonna
get this
cost
in.
you.
Hold on.
baby, I'm not.
Consultation.
No. I'm not. It's not. I said I'm going to pick your brain.
You
I
sure?
don't want information.
Well, I don't take cash up, so I'm gonna just go and put that square right there. So
I don't know how to work square. I can't
It's
work
okay.
square
I can work
account.
it for you. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
I got cash out but $500. So now, as far as when it comes to government contracting, and a person has a business, right? When a person has a business, how
Yeah.
can a person not utilize, but how can they leverage their business to get a government contract?
Honestly, it's easy. Long as you have an LLC, baby, we can go get it.
Okay, so the
It's
best
just
way.
gonna depend on: are you going with professional? Are you going professional services? Are you going to go logistics? Are you going to construction? Are you
Right.
gonna like what part of government? The government is the biggest dope dealer in the game. I hope nobody take that the wrong way, but I'm dead ass serious.
They're giving away a lot of money too.
It's not giving away. They literally is just saying what you want to do. Long as you have your documents together,
Right.
and not just, oh, I'm working out for DBA, I'm ready. No, you're not. You're not ready.
So I'm gonna give y'all a secret. And if y'all don't watch the news, because everybody know that I'm affiliated, some kind of way with that entity.
Go
you know?
ahead. Go
So,
ahead.
but Joe Biden just signed a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, right? So for the city of Houston, I got to give a shout out to myself. We have a actual radio station on 102.3 every Sunday. You can check us out. We talk about disadvantaged business opportunities and stuff like that. But for the city of Houston, they granted the city of Houston $20 billion and
2.8
$2.8 billion.
just for women.
Right. So
women on
I'm
business.
going there.
I
So,
have to say.
all right. So, but I was going to go there. But the thing is, 30% of it is allocated to minority businesses. Right, 30%. So, but the thing is, and they had a workshop Monday, I believe. I think they had a workshop Monday. But to the people that's wanting to get into that construction side or like dealing with highways and buildings, equipment, stuff like that,
Construction.
construction, stuff like that, they're giving money away. But the biggest thing that we've been seeing, a lot of people aren't certified or they're not qualified. They might have the information, but they don't know how to do a RFP
It's all about
to get the
paperwork.
process, the
Right.
paperwork, stuff like that. So if you listen to the radio station on Sundays, you could reach out to us, 102.3. We got about 400,000 people that we hit up, but that's Coastal Distinct Radio. But the business, that government contracting, we need for as our people. They're giving us 30%. But we don't know how to get that 30%
Right.
of
So,
that 2.8
Y'all
billion.
telling me something new. I never heard that.
And
Okay.
you're going to get into it as soon as we stop this. Because I take the whole game. What you got? Let's go. We're going to get this. But let me say this. To anybody that's thinking about getting a government contract and you're like, man, do I qualify? No offense to anyone that's Caucasian, but if you're not Caucasian, whether you white, Indian, if you Caucasian,
Right.
you don't qualify.
Yes.
Right.
If you notice that, please don't take this the wrong way, but some of those our Caucasian counterparts are actually married to somebody that's a minority
to get that money,
and that's how they get their business.
Correct.
I'm not mad at them because listen,
that's a hustle.
The government is the biggest dope dealer in the game, and I'm gonna keep saying that because of the simple fact: if you understand the game, like me and Elle was saying earlier, if you understand credit, you gonna understand the government game. But it's not one of those you can play with.
Right.
It's one
You
of
have
those
to have
when you say you have
everything
your
in place.
documents together. That's the first part. You have to understand business and have no feelings when it comes to business. You have to understand as well, you got to have credit. You have to have money set aside. You have to be ready. If they say, well, we're not going to pay you into a net 30,
Right.
a net
Right.
40, a net 60.
You got to have that money.
What
in
money you're not
reserve.
going to have. But
Right.
see, that's why you go to the bank. Shout out to Carl, the VP of Regis Bank. I now can go to him and show him I got a contract for $2.5 million
He
or
okay.
$100,000. And I ain't going to tell y'all my secret. You got to book a consultation.
He used that as
But-
collateral. I got you. A line of credit.
No, well, you can have a line of credit, but also what you going to pay those other employees? Are you going to be the primary? Or you going to be the secondary? Right? Your certification is the first step.
Right.
Right. Relationships is key. And I know when we was younger, they used to always tell us like, "Hey, you got to have these type of friends," and we didn't understand it. Listen, the
Right.
government needs to be your friend. Don't sit over there. Oh, I don't like them, but baby, nobody cares if you like.
It's
We
no
here
feelings.
for
It's
two
no
things.
feeling.
So,
Mhm.
That is
but
true.
the government is giving you. You have to understand where you want to start. Do you want to start federal? Do you want to start state? Or do you want to come locally?
Local, yeah.
Just in Houston by itself. Houston is the number 3 location to get government contracts.
They got
right
money
now.
here. They got a
As
lot
long
of
as
money
you're a
here.
resident, but you can get it. But you got to know what to do, when to do it, how to do it.
Right.
I can't tell y'all exactly, but I literally
Tell the
just
people.
looked up
Give the people something. Give the
I
people. It's for
can
the
show
people
you.
now.
I'm gonna show you, Elle, because I can't show them. I'm gonna have to charge
Let
them.
me check it out.
But
But
literally,
your credit and your connections
Yeah.
get you into
Yeah.
doors that
Right.
your cash can't get you into.
See what
Facts.
happens. What happens is the culturally distinct. What we do at culturally distinct. This is what we do. We bond relationships. We build relationships. But the thing is, another thing also that you didn't mention. The government
Oh, wait.
is. You can't run from the government. It's always going to be a
pay your
receipt.
taxes,
It's,
Lord.
you can never escape that. So if they give you $5, $6, $7, $8, $10 million, and it's 20 years down the line, they still follow that money.
Yeah.
So you can't. They never go
And
away.
then they have these shady CPAs and stuff like that.
Be
trying
careful.
to write everything off and have your business in a negative.
That's a
And
hobby.
yeah, like
That's a hobby.
it's defeating the purpose. But that's another.
Yeah.
another
So
story.
but no, we because we got to end the show. But at the same time, as we end the show, we're gonna get into some information that off the camera. You know what I'm saying? If these guys wanted to reach out to you guys, I want you guys to give them your social media one more time, please. Go ahead, Andy.
Okay, cool. So I am Andy, known as Just As Andy in these internet streets. You can look me up under Just As _ Andy. Also go to my website, which is andythibeu.com. And that's it.
Elle.
And I am W.ELLEO on all social media platforms.
There you go. There you have it. Look, hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. This was a good one for me. I think I got to bring these guys back for a part 2. For a part 2. You know, I got to keep picking your brain. You know what I'm saying? I got to get all the information that I can get.
That's your problem.
But I appreciate y'all guys for coming in and spreading the,
yeah, it was
spreading the
amazing.
information.
Thank
You know
you.
what I'm saying? I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys hit these guys up because I'm pretty sure they're going to help you guys out. Just say I saw you on this podcast. It's like, okay, of course y'all got to pay. That's part of it. That's part of it. Nothing is free. You got to pay. But I'm pretty sure, you know, these 2 people got good hearts, so they're going to look out for you. So anyway, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you tell a person to tell a person. I love you guys.